What is up, you guys? Welcome back here to my channel, Just Simply Sports with me. I'm Kaja. If you're new to my channel, I welcome you. I need you to hit the like and subscribe button for your girl. Before you do anything else, please hit that like and subscribe button for you guys. If you know me, you know I am a Warriors fan, Steph Curry, the Bay, all day, every day, right? And we did not end the season well. You guys know how I feel about it. You know how I feel about it. Man, Steph got hurt. Jimmy was a no-show. We're not in the season good at all. And the Warriors have done zero, zero, zero. Nothing has been done for my team in I don't know how long. Every team has made some sort of move. Only thing we did was pretty much get rid of Looney. And by the way, I love Looney. That's all we've done. And nothing else has been done at all, except bringing in, of course, Alex Tui and Will from Florida. But that's about it, you guys. Nothing else has happened. And we got to make some moves. So Jonathan Kuminga, we all know he wants to move on at this point. He does not want to be a Warrior. It is obvious he does not trust Steve Kerr. And he's like, you know what? Please free me so I can go off someplace else and I can be great. And honestly speaking, I'm not mad at him for that, you guys. Like, there's nothing wrong with the player betting on themselves and wanting to move on and go someplace where they feel they're going to be appreciated and get an opportunity. You should absolutely advocate for yourself. You don't believe in yourself, who else will, right? So I had to write some stuff down for you guys. There's a lot of information. I want to make sure I'm coming to you guys correct and I'm factual, right? I want to be speaking out the side of my neck, right? So last summer, they offered him a $150 million contract extension, which is 5 years. It would have been broken down and said $30 million each year. For the life of me, I don't know why he didn't take it. He started off this season great, but then once he got hurt, he was out for a while. They brought in Jimmy. They played the same position. And obviously, between the two right now, Jimmy is the stronger player because Jimmy has the experience. We've seen what he can do with lesser talent around him. And that balance between him and Steph, that Batman to Robin, it worked. It really, really worked. So it's unfortunate that once Kuminga came back, they had Jimmy there. And they're not going to put him and Jimmy out in this at the same time. Like, it's just not going to happen, right? But it is what it is. It's the way it worked out. So he declined that offer last season, wanted to bet on himself. He gets hurt this season. So now, of course, the value goes down. Once you've been hurt, you don't have the same level of production. They don't have to pay you what you feel you should rightfully deserve because they're like, look at your production, it went down. We don't have to pay you that, right? So Jonathan Kuminga, they offered him right now, right? They offered him a 2-year deal with 40 to 45 million. He turned that down. A team option for the second year. He said, no, I don't want that. He also turned down a qualifying offer of 7.9 million because he wants a long-term deal. Now, reportedly, the Suns, the Phoenix Suns, that is, and Sacramento Kings are both willing to offer him a long-term deal around the realm of $90 million. I'm not sure. Again, this is allegedly. I don't know exactly if this is true, but they're reportedly offering him $90 million for, a long-term deal. And he's interested in that. He wants to go, I believe, to the Kings as preferred, destination of choice. Now, he also wants long-term guaranteed, a larger guaranteed role, you guys, my bad, larger guaranteed role, and he wants a promised starting position. Realistically, I don't know if anybody can outright promise you that. They can tell you that in conversation, of course, but is that going to be in your contract? I'm all for him wanting to prove himself and wanting to get a starting position. He's been in the league a little while now, 4 years. He really feels like going on 5 years, feels like he's really worth that. Okay, fine, I get it, right? But can they actually promise you that? Because anything can change. You get hurt, somebody else plays better. Sometimes the things don't always work out the way you want it to. But that's what he wants. Okay, I get it. So they're saying that he spoke to the Kings GM, the owner. Obviously, Doug Christie is the new head coach for the Kings. He spoke to them, and they're guaranteeing him a starter role alongside Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Sabonis, and Keegan Murray. Now, between the starting lineups that they have for the Kings right now and versus what they have for Phoenix, I could see that making sense. I could see them giving him a starting role based on who they already currently have. And then as a result, they're supposed to be giving the Kings are supposed to be giving the Warriors Malik Monk, right? I had to write this down. I was like, Malik Monk and a protected first-round pick. I'm sorry. You want to give the Warriors in return for Jonathan Kuminga with his high upside, because he does have one heck of a high upside, a lot of potential. You want to give the Warriors in return for Jonathan Kuminga. You want to give them Malik Monk and a protected first-round pick? Why on earth would they make that deal? This is a business first and foremost, you guys. Why, as an owner, am I going to take Malik Monk, who is older, who does not have the same upside as Jonathan Kuminga, and a protected first round pick in return? No, absolutely not. You got to sweeten that deal if you want me to take it. And that's just business. It is what it is. I know a lot of comments say, just free him. You're not going to play him. Just free him. I get that. But it still has to work for the benefit of the organization. This is a business first and foremost, always. Doesn't matter how much they love you. They got to get something back in return for you that benefits them. It has to be a mutually beneficial extension. And that's just not the case with Malik Monk and the protected first round pick. I'm sorry. Now, as it pertains to the Suns, right? I like what they have right now better in Phoenix, but I'm just like, will he get a starting role there? I don't know. Look what the Suns did this offseason, right? Devin Booker got that highest extension 2-year deal, I believe, in history, right? $70 million per year, which is crazy, something like that. Devin Booker is going to be a starter. Obviously, they're building everything around him. He's the focal point there, period. It's like in the Warriors, Steph is the focal point. Nobody's going to be the focal point outside of Steph. When it comes to Phoenix, it's going to be Devin Booker. You got Devin Booker. They just brought in 2 new centers. They brought in Mark Williams, the one the Lakers didn't want. They said he failed his physical. So they brought him in. They drafted Kamal Malawako. I'm looking forward to seeing my South Sudan brother. And then, of course, they already have Bobo there. They just got Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks from the Houston Rockets. Who else? They have Ryan Dunn. Ryan Dunn had a really, really great rookie season. You guys, I'm not sure if you really watch the Suns like that, but he had a really, really great rookie season. And him and Kuminga play the same exact position. I don't see them putting him on the bench for Kuminga when he played around 74 games, I believe, last season, and he averaged more. Because I have it written down, you guys. Let me go back and look what I'm talking about because I don't want to be talking out the side of my neck. So yeah, okay. So he played. Well, he played. Here it is right there. So Ryan Dunn played 74 games specifically, averaged 19 points, 6.9 rebounds, and 3.6 assists. I'm not going to bench him for Kuminga. I'm sorry. Now, I like Kuminga, but Kuminga hasn't ever averaged 19.1 points during the season. The past 4 seasons he's been in the league. On top of that, 6.9 rebounds and 3.6 assists. Now, we've seen him in games, obviously, drop 20. We see him drop 30 or more. We have seen his greatness in spurts. And I do believe that he has a very, very high upside and potential, but again, it comes in spurts. He has not been consistent. There have been times where he has gotten a chance to show up and really show what he can do. He has a chance to show that he is worth 30 plus million, that he should get the starting spot on a roster, that he is everything, all the things that he thinks he is, and then some. And like I said, he hasn't been consistent. I have to be honest. And I really feel like a lot of people don't really give Steve Kerr like the credit that I feel like he deserves. Now, if you look at Steve Kerr, he has been consistent. If we saw him bench Jason Tatum, who was the reigning champ at the time in the Olympics, we think he's not going to bench Kuminga if he really feels like it benefits the team. It isn't. Steve Kerr doesn't seem to be the kind of coach. Like I said, I don't know him obviously. He isn't the kind of coach that does what people may think is right. Because if that was the case, Jason Tatum would have played every single game, but that wasn't what happened. In spite of coming off of a win, off of an NBA championship, it's like, nope, nope, you can go have a seat right now. I'm going to roll with other people. And that's what he did. He stood 10 toes on and he benched him even again in another game, and they won the goal. He's always thinking about winning overall and how it benefits the team. Which matchups? He's always talking about matchups. Which matchups work best with this, with that, so on and so forth. Even before Jimmy Butler got there last season, when they had CP there with that second unit, which Kuminga was a part of, it wasn't given $40 million player energy. And at least at the moment it wasn't. I'm not saying that he can't be that in the future, but at the moment right now, what I've seen, and I'm just being honest, and I'm always advocating for a player to get paid to bet on themselves. But as an owner, I'm putting my ownership hat on, you guys. This is my ownership shirt right here, right? If I'm Joe Lacob and I'm thinking about this, I'm like, I don't know if I can give you that, which is why I really don't understand why he turned down a 5-year, $150 million deal last season, where he would have gotten $30 million each year that he felt that he deserved. I'm like, why did you do that? Because now they're like, nope, we don't have to pay you that you got injured. We're not doing it. But nevertheless, the Suns, in return for Jonathan Kuminga, they were offering the Warriors Royce O'Neal, 4 second-round picks. I'm not sure if they're protected or not, and then Nick Richards. Now, Royce O'Neal, he's 32 years old. He's older. He played 75 games, so health is not an issue, but he averages 9 points, 4.7 rebounds, 2.2 assists. Nick Richards, I honestly didn't know who he was, you guys, respectfully. He's 27 years old, 8.9 points, 7.5 rebounds, 1.3 assists, and only playing 21 games. And we saw what the Suns looked like last season. If I am an owner, why am I taking the players who don't contribute much to winning? What's up, big dog? How you doing? I was just in Texas this past weekend, my guy. What is up with you? I hope all is well. But if I'm Joe Lacob, why am I going to make that trade? Like, you again, sweeten the pot. I really feel like if I'm Joe Lacob and I'm thinking about this trade and I'm considering it, let's just call a spade a spade. Right now, they hold all the cards as it pertains to Kuminga. They do. Next season, after his rookie contract, his deal is up, he is an unrestricted free agent. He can go wherever he wants to, and they cannot say anything. So right now, but they can still get something from, the trade, it would be best for them to do it this season. But next season, they have no say-so. So if I'm Kuminga and the Warriors are playing really, really hard, being hard-nosed about this, they're not willing to just give him up for anything and for anyone, just play out this season. Just play out this season. Sometimes you got to go long term. We saw in the NFL, we saw Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, who we saw putting up crazy numbers for multiple seasons, really, really being impactful in terms of the success of the Bengals alongside Joe Burrow. I call him Swaggy Joe. But they didn't want to pay them either. And what did Jamar Chase do? He balled out, Triple Crown, and he got paid this season. So sometimes you just got to play the long game. I know it may not be favorable. You may not want to do it, but sometimes you got to do what you don't want to do so you can do what you want to do later on, right? And next season, Kuminga will hold all the cards, and Warriors can't say anything at all. But if I'm the Warriors right now, I don't want to wait until next season. I want to make sure that I can get some value for you right now, how it works for us first and foremost, and then, of course, while working for you, because you want players to want to come for your organization. You want players to be like, I don't want to go there. They don't want to pay their players. They only focus on Steph Curry. Steve Kerr is a crazy coach. He has the system that he has in place, and if you don't look at the system, you can't really be a part of it. You don't want players looking at that when they think about your team and not wanting to go there, right? So I'm like, the Warriors overall need a center. We do not have a center. Now, I like Quentin Post, and I like his potential, but right now, he's not what we need to win the championship and maximize Steph Curry's greatness while we still have him playing great, because it's not going to be there forever. Jimmy, Draymond, Steph, they're all older, right? So if I can't convince Kuminga to stay, I would love for Kuminga to stay overall, because these players are going to be leaving soon. And he will have a chance alongside the younger core to really step out and be the star. I would say the star of the franchise, because anything can happen, but be one of the stars. I am a Warriors fan, big dog, and be a star of the franchise like he would like to, right? Sometimes, like I said, you got to play the long game sometimes. Sometimes it's not always about the short term. But if he needs to go right now, he's going to be miserable there. You're not really going to play him. How about getting one of those centers? Come on, Mulliwak. We don't know what he's going to be in the NBA just yet, right? We saw him in the Olympics. I love him. I am high on him. But we haven't seen him at this level, right? NBA level. So you're not really sure what he can do. You're hoping, looking at his potential, what he can do, but it's not proven yet. You've seen what Kuminga can do, and obviously I do believe Kuminga has a very, very high upside. But I think you're cool too, big dog. So I'm going to include, I don't really want Royce O'Neal. I don't want, the other guy you're trying to give me, but I will take the 4 second-round picks. And how about you throw one of these centers? You got to give me Mark, or you got to give me Kamal Mulliwak. You got to give me one of them. You already got Bobo, so you can keep him. Give me one of the two. Give me one of the two, because really and truly for Kuminga, I know his preferred destination is the Kings, but the Suns are also in there. You think about the Suns starting lineup. Devin Booker's going to be first. Nobody's going to be getting over him. They brought Jalen Green in. I don't see him coming off the bench. Dylan Brooks, like I said, Ryan Dunn. Who else is there at this time? I have it written down. Yeah. I just named about 4 or 5 people, you guys. So I don't know if Kuminga is going to come in and start over Ryan Dunn, because they saw what he did within that franchise was capable of. I don't know if he's going to get the starting time over Ryan Dunn right now. So I don't know if I would go there. His goal is, I want to be a starter. I want a guaranteed starting role and guarantee, a long-term deal. The Suns are all over the place. Matt Ishbia is doing better, but he's still trying to figure out what he's doing with his team in the state of rebuilding. So I don't know if I'm Kuminga, after having been in the league, for 4 years, if I want to go to a place that's kind of rebuilding, not really sure what they want to do, not really sure where they want to go, the Kings would be the better place. According to, Shams, they spoke to Kuminga in his camp, and they told him that they're guaranteeing him a role. So a starting role, that is, which is what he's looking for. So if that's the case, then you got to go to the Kings. But the Warriors are not going to give him up just for anything, and they're fully prepared to make him play out this last year, whether he takes the 2-year deal or the 7.9 million. Either way, they're like, you can play this season if you want here. If we can't get what we want to get for you, or you can go someplace else next season. They're willing to go that route. I don't agree with it, like I said, because next season when he has that unrestricted, he can be unrestricted free agent. It's not going to benefit them next season. They didn't get nothing for him at all. So it's not smart business. But like I said, you guys, this is a business first. For Kuminga also to want to be a starter in this league and be a number one option, supposedly. When you think about his game, like I said, I don't really feel like over the past 4 years he's really proved that he's worth 30 plus 40 million within that range, but he believes it, and as he should. I'm just watching the game, right? I got to be objective. But I'm thinking he's super, super athletic, right? I would love to have seen him alongside being coached by Ime Udoka. That young crew in Houston is super athletic. They're lengthy, they're tall, they're gritty. I really feel like his skill set would benefit him a lot, especially benefit that team. But obviously that's not going to happen, right? But I really feel like when you think about Kuminga's game, you don't really see him going to get his own bucket. He usually kind of he usually gets his points off of players passing him the ball. Steph, Jimmy, creating opportunities for him. So for me, I'm like, if I'm Kuminga and I wouldn't really show what I'm capable of, I'm like, alongside a James Harden, I'm not saying this would happen, obviously, right? But for me, James Harden, obviously, he passed the ball first. Like alongside him, I really feel like he would thrive. He would thrive playing next to Luka, being a nice lob threat. I really feel like and also someone like a Trae Young, right? Ice Trae, his assists are always how he looks to create first before he takes the shot. And then also Tyrese Halliburton before Tyrese Halliburton, of course, got hurt. I really feel like in those situations, he would thrive more than he would in the Kings. The Kings right now, to me, I'm not sure what they're doing. Like I said, if he's just going there solely because he wants to be a starter, I get it. But in terms of long-term career and really moving himself, I don't know if that's the best place for him. And also, you got to keep in mind that Sacramento and the Bay are not that far apart, right? So again, as ownership, I'm not going to trade you to somebody like to my arch nemesis, so to speak, like my neighbors right next door. Like, I'm not dumb. Like, I know what you're capable of. So I'm going to trade you there and then just give you Malik Monk and some an unprotected and a protected first round pick? Absolutely freaking really not. It is not going to happen. Hold on, we missed. You know what? Thank you so much. Like when I go live, sometimes like usually I pre-record and then I go ahead and post it for you guys after. But I told myself a few days ago I have to start coming on here live more, so I will start promoting more. I'm working on something right now, and once I work on it, you guys are gonna post it. So hopefully you guys can join me live more often, and you'll know ahead of time, of course. But I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys briefly. I've been on here almost 20 minutes. I want to keep you guys all night, but I was on here. I want to talk to you guys briefly about the whole Kuminga situation. I really feel like the situation is just going next level. And I'm just like, you never want to have a player in your organization who doesn't want to be there. That doesn't feel like good vibes to me. It doesn't feel like you're going to thrive. They're going to thrive. It's going to work. Like, I don't think so. So, you know what? I'm really hoping for the best for Kuminga. Of course, my Warriors. I'm praying to the gods, to the basketball gods, that we do something before training camp officially starts, because the way this is going, I do not like it at all, at all, at all. NFL, you guys, I will be on here. NFL season. I do watch the NFL. Obviously, I've spoken about it a little while because I've been focused more on basketball, WNBA stuff. It's a lot, you guys. I'm a one-woman show here, as you can see, but I do keep up with everything. As far as NFL team, I am a Josh Allen and Lamar Action Jackson fan, excuse me. So I'm rooting for the Bills, and of course I'm rooting for the Ravens, although obviously it's like, how are you for the same team? They're going to have to go get each other eventually, and somebody's going to have to leave for the other person to move forward. I know, but that's who I'm rooting for, you guys. I love the both of them as QBs. I do like Jalen Hurts. I like the Eagles as a team. What the team do I like? As far as teams, for me, it's going to be the Bills and then the Ravens. Like I said, I like the Eagles. I like what they're doing. I like Jalen Hurts, what he stands for. I like that he doesn't care what people think of him. See, I was rooting for the Steelers when they had my guy Russ. If you've been on my channel, I always say, "And Russ, we trust," right? So I'm looking forward. I'm not a Giants fan, although I am in New York, but I am rooting for Russ to. I know he's on his way out eventually, like he's getting older, but I'm really hoping that he has a great season. Who I think is going to surprise a lot of people this season are the Steelers with Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. Aaron Rodgers to me comes across a little bit, sometimes like he's a bit odd, but I really feel like this is going to be his last season. He's very, very ego driven. I really feel like he's not going to go out on a low. Like he's not going to allow that to be the end of his career and in his NFL career, like on a down year. I don't believe that at all. And they have brought some nice pieces around him. I do also feel like that duo of George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb is going to be one that we never thought that we were going to be rooting for or expect to see. George Pickens is temperamental, but extremely talented. CD, we know what he is. Those two together to me, as long as Dak can stay healthy, I think are really, really going to surprise a lot of people. And Brian Schottenheimer, I don't know what he's going to do as a head coach. I'm hoping that they can, give Micah his money. I don't know. Jerry doesn't want to pay anybody. Like, I don't know what Jerry's doing. It's always some foolishness. But hopefully they pay Micah Parsons, of course. And, of course, they can, keep things rolling in a positive way. Everybody stays healthy. But I really feel like the Dallas Cowboys are going to be more of a bigger surprise than people think. Kuminga and Warriors. I mean, this is a business. It's always about worth. No one's going to trade anybody and just get anything back in return without it being a benefit to the organization. It is what it is. The Warriors, their cap right now is so high with what they're paying Jimmy, of course, Steph and Draymond, that they really don't have a lot of wiggle room, which is why I'm like, last season for Kuminga, why did you not take the 5-year, $150 million deal? You would have gotten more than what you're getting this season. And when he tested the market, the only teams that really wanted to give him what he felt he deserved were the Kings and the Suns. I feel like I don't know if you saw it earlier, him in Sacramento, he would have a chance more to be a starter than he would for the Suns. The Suns right now, they already have a lot of people. They have centers. They have Ryan Dunn, who I don't believe is going to be benched in favor of Kuminga. They play the same position. And his rookie year, Ryan Dunn this past season, we saw what he can do, and he has averaged higher in his one season, and Jonathan Kuminga has averaged in his 4. And that's just the facts. So I don't think that that's going to happen. But you guys, okay, I'm going to get out here. I'm talking your ear off all night. I appreciate you guys logging on, hopping on to talk to me, chat with me. I do hope to see you guys on the next live. I will post about it in the future so you're aware. Have a great night, you guys. Stay safe. Peace out.